Everybody is sexy. Everyone is sexy. You sexy, I'm sexy, they sexy, she sexy, he sexy. Everybody's sexy. I'm realizing there's no boundaries. Actually, no. There are definitely personal boundaries to sexuality, but in the grand scheme, on the grand scale of the whole wide universe, girl, sexuality is about as fluid and free as that coochie juice. Like that coochie juice, girl. Free flowing. And with that, everyone is sexy. Sorry. Before I would be like, oh yeah. Actually, no, even before what I was about to reference, even before that, there was a there was a need to label and ostracize what cannot be defined. Like, oh, you have to be something. You have to be something. Whether you was straight, whether you was gay, whether you was a man, a woman, they, them, he, me, she, we, be. You had to define yourself, or people would not accept you. And but then after that, but still before what I was originally referencing to, there was an openness to being non-binary and a floodgates, the flooding of people becoming non-binary and really acting in their oneness and their desire to be outside of a binary system. Now, girl, we don't even matter. You could be like, I'm not really non-binary, but I'm not really a man, but I'm not really a woman, I'm really just me. And that's okay. It's always been okay, but now the existence of labels are just conceptual prisons. They don't do what they used to, or they do what they used to too much. They don't help anymore. A gay man may not be a gay man no more. Like I said, I personally identified as gay before even identified as gay. I identified as bi. Then before that I was asexual, and before that I was heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the movement, what has became from what was just a changing of names. It was never really a changing of essence. Like, I existed as who I was before, but maybe not as freely as I was. So there is this notion that being above a label sort of is in and of itself its own category. And it's not a category that's just this square box. It's like, baby, that's the whole thing. Like, you the whole thing. You the whole spectrum. So, yeah, everyone is sexy. But hasn't everyone always been sexy? Like, really, let's think about it. As someone, let's think about from the perspective of a young man. Let's say you're 18, right? You're 18, year old young man, race and unimportant. Let's say you come from an all right, there's no your socioeconomic status, you're not struggling for nothing, you got really everything you need, but you're not like crazy filthy rich. Like, you may be like high end suburban area vibe. And you went to, I don't know, a public school, you did pretty all right. There's nothing really within your environment that created a specific and built-in behavior for yourself. So you're really just here in this fire. You look around, right? Of course, even before you was 18, you was looking, you wasn't really too much worried about. Let's say you wasn't really too much worried about sex or sexuality before you were at age 18. You was really worried about graduating high school, or just, doing whatever art you was doing, being in the club. It don't matter. But you was doing that. Now you 18. And it's like the world opens up. It's like, wait, I'm thinking more about my sexuality now. I seen Shawty, like there was this one girl in my art class. She was real nice to me, and she also smelled really nice. I loved the way her hair looked. You know what I'm saying? She was real pretty and real nice body. I feel like we would look good together, or I feel like she's very attractive. But then there's also this dude. I don't feel the same way about him. In fact, I think he's a bit annoying. He's a little bit annoying, maybe a little cocky, arrogant, whatever. Uh, but I can't stop thinking about him. You know what I'm saying? Or like whenever I think about him, it's kind of just goes a little haywire. Like, okay, wait, yeah, he's. Of course, I'm not speaking as myself, girl. This is not really how I think, but I'm imagining someone who maybe has not have had that intentionality in their own sexuality until they got into a point where I guess they felt like they could. I feel like that's actually a very inconsistent analogy. But the analogy represents that, girl, you really be living in your ways until you realize that your way isn't the only way. And in fact, the way that you thought may have been the only way for yourself actually was maybe the weakest way that you could live because it specifically does not incentivize you reaching out of your comfort zone of what you, I guess, already know, which could be, oh, I'm straight, or even could be, oh, I'm gay, or okay, I'm bisexual, you know what I'm saying? Or I am a man, or I am a woman. Those confines not really being the full extent of who you are, but it's a part, it's there, it's a path. I could stay on this path, but damn, everyone is really sexy in this bitch. It makes you think that, girl, what about my desirability? What about what I got going on? Sexually, what do I look like? What am I giving? This message really is falling. It's like scattering seeds. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to plant a field of rice, are you gonna fucking sit there and dig a hole, plant the rice? You can do that. I'm not gonna that's you can definitely do that. Or are you gonna scatter them seeds, nigga? You gonna scatter them seeds? What? This is really what this is. This isn't a specific, oh yeah, I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I could be talking to you, but really this is something that was really on my mind. That everyone really is sexy. There's no point in trying to uphold personal, a personal opinion of what I should be or how I should be when there's already a natural progression of character within me. You know what I'm saying? Like the character develops naturally. There's no reason to believe that I would not progress as I grow, because I'm not who I was yesterday. I'm not who I was a week ago. I'm not even who I was 10 minutes ago. And even though I probably am not aware enough to know the minute differences of minute by minute by minute changes, it's still a truth. It's an objective truth that the world is in constant entropy. The world is constantly changing. So to believe that I want to stay the same, I'm gonna be straight and just men, niggas, my whole life. Grow up. Maybe that's the message. Grow up, because obviously you haven't grown. You're still that same low ass boy who was on his iPad looking at Yaoi, looking at Naruto and Sasuke kiss on YouTube. Maybe you still that little boy. Maybe you is. I don't know. But to that, you just gotta grow up, girl. You gotta want to experience new things. And because I'm gonna be honest, you want to experience new things regardless. You can stay in the same place your whole life and still experience new things. Granted, those new things aren't going to be very new. They may be pretty mundane new things, but the entire experience of wanting new and creating novelty for yourself it's all up to you. It's your responsibility. You know, of course, there are some people I guess may be blessed with more accessibility to novelty things or novelty experiences, but at the end of the day, you create your own novelty. Everyone is sexy. Why, why act like it ain't the truth? Everyone is sexy. Live your life. If you know you sexy, bitch, then join the club. Period.